Bum, 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 bum. Rolex on my wrist screams, finally I'm fancy. Speedmaster sits in my drawer now so sadly. 3131 versus Le Manier. Afraid the first scratch will bring the end of days. Ba-da-da-bum, bum, 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 ba-da-da-da-dum-bum. Richard me silly, they look like Pez candy. Patek's too rich for my blood, I'm so shanty. Vacheron Constantin might be the dream. Why are these watches our favorite things? How's the price, ding? How's your new bling? Please don't fuel the greed. There's one way to stop it. Keep change in your pocket and get your watch from an AD. Boom, boom. Hey, gang. Thought I'd give you a little song about my favorite things. I hope I don't get demonetized for that. I had a whole music track together for that, and then Paulson from the other room goes, "You guys are going to get banned." So I cut that out and just did it a cappella. I thought it'd be funny. I had a whole verse about gray market dealers, and I just decided I have enough enemies. So I'm not going to do it. How's everybody tonight? So thanks so much for sitting through Monday night's technical difficulties. I've been working on it tremendously. I really honestly don't know what it was. I think it was a piece of software that affected my camera because I use my iPhone and I use a third-party piece of software, and it kept looking for it and kept clogging up the work. So I deleted that, and I'm an Apple Mac tech for the most part. I'm pretty great. I can pretty much fix anybody's Mac, and Ush and I have been doing that for years and years and years. And like when it comes to your own thing, it's like you can't operate on yourself. I go, I actually called Apple today. Actually called them. But anyway, I think everything's good. I've got Salzburg in the background as an inspiration for my favorite things. I thought we'll talk about our favorite watches because we all have them. My two favorite watches in the whole wide world. I now own one. I have my beautiful Speedmaster, but my favorite Speedmaster in the whole wide world, I'll show it to you in a little while, is the Trilogy. I'm just a giant fan of the Trilogy because it was just the watch that just knocked me out when I first saw it, and made me a Speedmaster fanatic. Haven't been into the game as long as most of you, but a little secret, when Dirk gets interested in something, Dirk needs to know everything. And I'm not always right, but I research everything. If I get into a new hobby or find a new artist that I like, or whatever it is, I tend to go overboard. And I think most of us do when we're collecting. I collect. I don't have, as you know, I don't have a big watch collection. I mean, I probably will at the end of the day, but I feel very funny about, I'm very blessed to have gotten this one as a gift from you guys. And, Sheen spearheaded that whole thing and you guys all tacked it on, and I'm still floored by it. That's why I said I'm afraid to scratch it. I'm actually putting my wrist down on the counter and I have a cloth because I'm afraid, and I still have the sticker on the back. But we all have favorite things, and favorite things are the things in life that propel you and make you strive to get there, make you be more successful, make you strive, give you inspiration. And what are they? What are yours? I guess we could start out by asking everybody what their favorite watches are and maybe talking about them a little bit. Carolyn Martin says, Julie Andrews just texted me. She's a little upset. I used to have a funny joke, and it was, name a song, any song. Name a song I might know, and put it in the chats. And Carolyn Martin, super sticker. Thank you, darling. You're the greatest. Thank you so much for that. That's really, really, really super kind of you. Nathaniel. Hi. I feel like we know each other so well now. Thank you so much. Super chats. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. It's absolutely outrageous that you guys tune in for Dirk Weekdays. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We did classic bashers last night with a Sheen, and tonight is back to Thursday nights, which is Dirk Weekdays. So anybody, you gotta give me a pop song, any song, like a song somebody that I would know. A Freebird. Oh, I don't know the lyrics to that. Oh, so you can do. My joke is, my party trick is that you can do any song in the whole wide world like Julie Andrews. So I don't know what Fairy Tales of New York is. 20th Century Boy. Fairy Tale of New York. I don't know that. Okay, I got one. Oh, this is a good one. Carolyn Martin, Maggie Me. Wake up, Maggie. I wish I had something to say to you. You can do anything like Julie. Because it's thriller, thriller now. Any song you could do Julie Andrews style, and you have a couple of beers and you can have fun with it. Fade to Gray. That's the only Grateful Dead song I know the title of, because it was their big hit single, right? It was the only hit single the Grateful Dead have ever had. They are one of the biggest touring entities, one of the biggest bands ever in the history of planet Earth. And this is a good one, and I'll do it for you because it's funny. Ready? And I know what you meant by this. A modern day warrior, mean stride. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride. That I know all the words to. You could give me the Fountain of Lamnethan, I would know it because I'm a Rush fanatic. So favorite watches. I'll start out with me, and I will show on my screen that this one is the one that knocked my socks off. And that was, I think it was 2017 or 2016 or 2017 where they came out with the trilogies. And they came out with a Speedmaster, which is almost an exact replica of the original CK2915 with the very much debated antiquing, the faux aging. I love it. I think it looks great. It works just like modern loom does. I think that the broad arrow hands are absolutely incredible. I just love that it has no crown guards. I love that the pushers are, it makes the crown look really large. I love the flat link bracelet. I love that there's no twisted lugs on it. This got into my soul really, really, really hard. And when they came out, they were like a big deal. Everybody made a big spiel about it. And then they kind of just started going out in sets. And you saw they issued them each separately. And then they issued ones with numbers. They were all numbered from the trilogy sets. And people broke those sets apart. And I think that that's criminal. I think you could have got the trilogy set for like 19 grand at one point, 18, 19. Now I see it's quite high. But absolutely astonishing. Tell me what you think about that watch. It haunts me, that and the Milgauss, which I now have, so it doesn't haunt me anymore. And now with my new background and my new lighting, you can actually see the Milgauss a lot better. I have a green screen, as you know, because that's cheating, because I'm in a very small room. I'm in my recording studio, which is probably 7 feet wide by like 10 feet long. It's like a long room where I have my big desk and computers and all my musical gear and all the guitars are behind this green screen. There's guitars everywhere. Usually it's a black screen, but that was looking pretty crappy at that point. So it was time to up my game. I have a lot of friends who've been helping me out and commenting on things that they think would be better for Dirk Wednesdays. And I really appreciate that. So what's going on? Who do we have in the room tonight? Okay, we've got Space Ace, Into Preppy, James Scott. He says, don't forget to upvote. Yeah, please upvote. Yeah, we're really trying to make something happen with this channel. Doing it every day, every weekday, and Wednesday's classic with Ush. Andrew's not going to be here tonight. We miss him greatly. He's one of our favorite people. He's got to work till 5:30, but I said we'll leave a light on for him. We got Dwayne Durham, right? Good evening, Dirk. Oh, thanks so much, my beautiful Michaela. Oh, come on. Yeah, well, that's what my dear friend JS, who is a drummer that he's a friend of mine since I was a kid, and he's a Neil Peart a quality drummer. He's that amazing. He when I had a solo band for a while, he was my drummer. He's always my drummer when I do solo stuff, which is not very much. I should do more. But when we had problems with the original Hitman drummer, people, we had all these festivals, coming up, and he did the first one, and it was great, and it just sounded like the band, and it was just so terrific. And then he backed out of the next year. We played in Greece, and he backed out. I begged him not to do it. But anyway, who did I call? I called JS. JS is the guy that designed those little cartoon thumbnails for me. He said, "Go in your bathroom," because he's from Queens. "Go in your bathroom. Put the curtain up and take like 10 pictures of yourself, and then I'll send you 200 avatars." And he did that. And he came up with all these like Star Trekian Captain Dirk things, and I was like, those are better. Except the one thing it did was it's like I want to get it like a blepharoplasty so bad, because as I'm getting older, that I don't have any. I have like one wrinkle here, and then I have like like a little bit of natural middle-aged man tired eyes. It's like every single avatar had it. I was like, fuck. Couldn't they get rid of it? It's like something I'd want photoshopped out of a press photo, but yet you do these avatars, and it makes you look cool, but it picks up on all the bad shit too. It's terrible. Anyway, thank you, Michaela. You're the best. I can't wait to see you Monday. Then we got Dispan. He likes Dirk. Duke talks some common sense. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I talk out my arse. I had some big blowback from last night about a comment I made about certain cities in England having Sharia law. I will reiterate, and I'll be clear. I didn't mean that it's enforceable, because it's the United Kingdom. They don't have Sharia law in the United Kingdom. However, they have these pockets of towns that have these people, these little patrols that try to do it. So that's just like, walking into a neighborhood and getting jumped by some bad people. It's not what I meant. I don't mean that, they're allowed to do that there. I'm just saying that there are places that are well known that you could do that. And people are trying to say it's debunkable. It isn't debunkable. There's videos all over YouTube. You can see it. Girls getting, berated and things thrown at them because they're wearing short skirts. And, girls have the right to look slutty when they want, right? Time flies. Lovely black man. Thanks so much. You know what? It's funny. I have had the green screen because I used to direct and edit the Hitman videos, and as crappy as they are, because I'm no video director, I'm no Lydia O'Malley, because she's. I'm telling you right now, when it comes time to make a video for the next record, I'm gonna beg her to direct it, because she has this auteur vision. She is a cinemaphile. She looks to the greats. She looks to Fellini and David Lean and all the great independent directors, De Secca, and it's just, that's who you want. You want somebody with an eye like that. She's turned me on to so many movies that, like, I knew them, but I didn't see them. And then we both bonded on The Bicycle Thief, because I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's the most heartbreaking movie you'll ever see, about a guy down on his luck, and he's got a young son, and he doesn't want to disappoint him, and he can't find a job. Anyway, he steals a bicycle, and then the shit hits the fan. But he's a good person. He just, he's desperate. Desperate people do desperate things. Ray. Beautiful start, Father Maka. Thanks so much. I just thought it would be funny, and I just hope that the Rogers and Hammerstein people don't get mad at me. Kaloy. Hi, Dirk. Hi, Kaloy. JW. Hey, Dirk. Great to be here with y'all. It's so great to have you here, Mr. Octofinissimo. Tu parla l'italiano? Sì. Bravo. Sounds a little awesome. Yeah, it's better today, right? I had some issues. I don't know, I was afraid it was my computer, which is older, though considering I'm a Mac tech, I should be able to figure it out. I was going to replace the drive on the inside. I thought it was that, but it really looks like it might have been. As long as tonight goes well, it looks like it was mostly a software-related issue that was causing problems. Time flies. Salzburg. How many people here have been to Salzburg? Anybody? So while I was on tour with my old band, my current band, whatever it is, I would say my old band, we get together once in a while. We played Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and like I said, on I bashed it before. Like I went to Auschwitz on my own because I wanted to see that, and I went by myself, and it was a rainy, murky, pissy day, and it was just so depressing. And that place was just it just felt like a graveyard. But on a nicer note, I took a bus and I went by myself to Salzburg because we didn't play there. We played about an hour away. So I got to walk around there. I had not much to do. I wasn't partying or drinking or anything. So I would get up early. It was funny. Here's one quick story. The second night, we got to on this tour of our second round. We landed. We had a day off. I got food poisoning. And then I played the show the same night, and then I went to sleep. And we had this double-decker bus with like a living room and a kitchen on the first floor, and then 100 bunks upstairs. It was like a very European style thing. And I went in my bunk, and I didn't wake up for like 14 hours, and they were already doing sound check. And everybody's like, "Oh, Dirk, he's probably wandering around because that's what he does." But the second night, I jet lag, food poisoning, and I wound up just sleeping it off. But every other night, every other day, I got up probably around 6:30, 7 o'clock because I love early mornings. I wasn't always an early morning person, being a rocker, but now I'm very much a morning person. So I went to Salzburg. I walked around and sang The Lonely Goat Herd, and I Have Confidence and all those other things because I do love the sound of music. I grew up on it, and I love Julie Andrews. She's a timeless beauty, timeless, and one of the greatest singers of all time. We've got Logan Hall. Good evening, Dirk. First solo show the other day. Thanks so much. I'm so sorry about the audio. I mean, I'll apologize till I'm blue in the face because I just didn't expect that to happen, but it does happen. Ali Kamal, hush, hush. Hey, in Istanbul, man, I've never been there. Ooh, man, do I want to see that. I want to see it really bad. MEPR, Mepper. Would you ever want to watch just to own it and not to wear it? Absolutely never. I would never do that. I mean, even if I got to the point where I just had buckets of money and they were investment pieces, I'm not that type of person. I play every guitar in this room. I use what I have. I don't put stuff on a shelf. I don't put stuff away. I'm a very, very rough and tumble kind of guy. I'm a bull in a china shop. So that's why I'm so afraid of this thing. Like the sticker's still in the back. You can actually see it. Now that my camera, because there's so much light in my room now that you can actually see stuff. This is still the sticker here, and I'm afraid to take it off. And there's already one little perforation on it, so obviously I bumped into something. So no, I wouldn't do that. Anarchy in the UK. Yeah. We mean it, man. Hey, Dirk Classique from Upper East Side, brother. Hey, easy. Are you from the Upper East Side? Well, hey, I'm in LIC, close by, very close by. I say New York get together, right? What else we got here? Oh, these are all the songs. Just want to make sure I get everybody in here. Honestly, I believe in you. Do you trust in me? He already sounds like Julie Andrews. I love that guy. He's a great guy. Paul brought up a funny story. That first time we ever played with them, I mentioned it on Mondays. Our very first show, I mentioned it. We had this song called Dead on Arrival. It's on our first record. And it was like, I think always the second song we played in the set, still is, because it's got good momentum. 2 years later, they come out with a record that has the same riff on it. I mean, it's exactly the same. And we're like, what the hell? Did that guy steal that? Did he? I mean, because they were there during our sound check for their show. So we didn't know what to think about that. Oddly enough, 2 years later, they play a couple of shows up in Connecticut, and guess who gets to open for them again? We did. So it's sound check time, and we were actually on a different stage than them because this venue is very cool. It's called the West Hartford Civic, but I think it was called the Agora Ballroom. If you guys remember, if anybody's from the Connecticut area, there was 2 stages, a club style stage with a nice adequate stage, and then there was a more like mini arena, because I think it used to be a roller rink that could accommodate a couple, like 2,000 more people. And they were playing there, and we were playing on the like B stage. But we walked over there and they were doing their sound check, and he started to play that riff. And my guitar player, Jimmy, goes, "Hey, man, I love that riff. Where did you get that?" And he looks at me, he goes, blah, blah, blah. He goes, "Well, I don't know if you remember this, but we opened up for you." He goes, "And that's my riff." And they had a whole conversation. The guy was profusely sorry. He was like, I'm so sorry. He's like, I must have heard it. And I call it the Danny Partridge syndrome, because there's an episode of the Partridge Family where Danny's like the 10-year-old, and he comes downstairs at breakfast and he says, "I wrote this really great song." And Keith, David Cassidy, says, "What are you talking about? That's a song I'm working on." And no one believes him, but it turns out he was sleeping and he heard it through the wall. So, yeah. Shane MacGowan, I heard that he passed away. I mean, Henry Kissinger passed away, and he needs to rot in hell for all eternity. So, rest in hell, you dick. As for Shane MacGowan, I mean, I don't know much about the Pogues other than Kate O'Riordan from the Pogues married Elvis Costello. That I know because I'm a huge Elvis Costello fanatic. Who I met many, many, many years ago. Met him twice. First time I met him, I didn't care because I was a metalhead and I didn't give a shit. My friend had me, she worked for Atlantic Records. She made me like help him for a signing in a hotel, and I got all the pictures together and we chatted about music and the Beatles and stuff. And I knew who he was and I didn't really care. Got pictures with him, and then I listened to the record he had just made, which was called Spike. And I became probably one of the biggest fans he'll ever have. Love him. So I remember he was married to Kate O'Riordan at the time from the Pogues. It's a shame. He was young. He's in his early 60s, I believe. I don't know the cause of death. If anybody knows, put it in the chats. How do you like Vacheron Constantin? Well, I put them in my song, didn't I? Oh, Vacheron is, other than, if I had to go Trinity, I would probably go Calatrava, particularly because I just think it's the most beautiful dress watch ever. Though, having said that, I do like old waffle dial Omega DeVille's and Seamaster calendars. I just think they're so beautiful. Well, it was before big watches came out. They're 36, 34. Don Draper wore one on the couple of last seasons. He wore, I think it was a 1966 DeVille. I think you guys have seen pictures of the one that Paul's dad and I got Paul for Christmas a couple of years ago, which is a 1954 Omega Seamaster calendar. And it's black, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love it. I sound like Dustin Hoffman and Tootsie. I hope not. But thanks. Whole lot of love from Led Zeppelin. You could do it. I'm not going to keep singing everybody's songs, but it's funny. You could definitely do it. Back to everybody's favorite watches. Carolyn Martin's favorite watch is a Rolex GMT all black. I can't disagree. I have a little fascination with the 1675s, the old Pepsis, where they're, especially, I don't know the reference off the top of my head, the Bakelite one. I just watched a whole restoration on that. I know Bakelite is a fragile material, but in the 50s and 60s, telephones, plates, people had tea service. It was all made out of this. I don't even know what Bakelite is exactly. It's like a pre-plastic plastic. Not exactly sure. But the GMT too. Sure. The ceramic or the or the anodized aluminum. I'm assuming she's got, knowing her, she's probably got anodized. Where is O? Eamon Perkins. Eamon. He is editing videos because he's got a lot of content coming your way. He went to Vienna, he went to Lisboa, and he went to Ireland. And he's got a lot of, classic, talk about David Lean, big in scope. He has some surprises that I know about that I'm not going to tell you about, but Mal's favorite is a Patek Calatrava. Yeah, I can't disagree with you. I just think, oh my God, they're just white gold. Definitely. Daniel Katz, I'm here. Hi, Daniel. He sends me funny Facebook stuff, and I really, really like it. I have to say, You want to hear a funny story? I don't have a picture of this. Favorite watch is an Enicar Sherpa Graph Mark III. So I've been with Paul for 34 years, and I knew he had a bunch of watches, and I didn't know what they were. And he goes, "Oh, let me go dig out those old watches." And one of them's an Enicar from that he got 100,000 years ago, and it's old. And he didn't know what it was either. I will photograph that, and I will have it for one of the next shows. I was shocked. It was so amazing. I couldn't believe he had that. People say, "Oh, they can have a Timex." Like my first watch. I was talking to Carolyn earlier about your first watch. Well, my first watch was probably a Mickey Mouse watch, but it actually wasn't. My grandmother, who was from Frankfurt, not in Germany, a town called Frankfurt in Sligo, Ireland. She got me a very highly loomed watch with a Speidel band, a stretchy band. And I don't know where it went, and I don't know what it was, but it was beautiful. It had like a silver dial, and all the numbers were it was probably Radeon. I don't know. It was I got it in the 70s, and it was really, really, really beautiful. So yeah, that was my first watch, and then I had a million Timexes, and I did love Mickey Mouse watches. I did, and I know you can get one on your Apple phone, right? What do they call that? Your Apple Watch. You can get it on there. And does somebody have the license for that? I would imagine that's probably a very heavy license. I don't know. It's weird. Daniel Catch super sticker. You have the gift of engagement. Well, thanks. I'm Irish. We can talk a dog off a meat truck. But it's funny. Here's my favorite person. The truth will set you free. Those avatars of Dirk don't have a major receding hairline. Oh, truth will set you free. I don't either. I have the same hairline I had when I was 20. I'm not going bald. Don't worry about it. I know you want me to, but I'm not. If anything, I'm not. Last thing I'm doing. Getting fat, maybe. Getting bald, no, not happening. Fellini in Your Another Planet, lean also. Yeah, I mean, they're just some of the greatest filmmakers. There's so many great filmmakers. There's still some great filmmakers. I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet, and I cannot wait to see Maestro because I'm a big Leonard Cohen fan. I mean, not Leonard Cohen, the Leonard Bernstein fan, and I think he was probably one of the greatest composers of all time, modern. And I think Bradley Cooper is a force to be reckoned with. I loved A Star Is Born. I thought he was incredible in it. Everybody talked about Gaga. I thought he was and he directed it. It was great. I'm very excited about that. Mark, hello from Brooklyn. Hello from Brooklyn. Hey, I am like 5 minutes from Brooklyn. Not even. Well, hello from Queens. Setup is banging tonight. Thanks so much. Yeah. Rufus said, what was the name of your band? Sorry, must have been. My band is called Hitman, Hittman. We're still together. We just don't do much very often. Like, we didn't make a record for 20 some odd years. But for some weird ass reason, we have a following in Europe and we get to play. It's like I still am waiting. Like I always tell Oshin and the guys in his band, I'm always like, listen, it took us 25 years to get our act together and play again because people really want to hear you. And I will say this again. I know, speaking for myself and for a lot of other people, if you guys missed them, they were so great. Such an amazing band. Should have been the biggest band in the world. Didn't, but if they came back, I think, and they don't even have to do a record. They should, but even if they didn't, and they just played a couple of shows because they were so good live. And there are so many bands that are not good live. You go to see your favorite band and they just, stuff is on tape, or, they actually would have an orchestra at their shows. Like they would have, 6 violins, 4 violas, double bass, cello, incredible stuff, Sure, the stage free. Funny how viewers buy Dirk a Rolex and now he's on YouTube every day begging for money. I'm not begging for money. And you're not nice. So you don't have to watch this show if you don't want to. I'm not begging anybody for anything. I am grateful for what I have. I don't ask for anything. That was a surprise and it was a very nice one. And to be honest with you, like, it was completely mind blowing. but you're a troll, and I'm gonna put you in a timeout. I'm not gonna ban you. I'm gonna put you in a timeout because you're a dick. But that's okay because we have nice people here, and we love to talk about stuff. The 904L steel on Rolex is so crazy. It's so shiny and so glittery. I mean, it is so beautiful. So beautiful. Watch It's Brian. Hello, Mr. Milgas. I know. I still can't believe it, right? I can't believe it at all. Daniel Cat says, hello, Brian. Luke M. Tech. Hi, Dirk. The very best heavy metal singer. I say Ronnie James Dio. I say Ronnie James Dio. I concur. I don't know if you watched the last show where I went on and on about firsts. And my first was I stood next to Freddie Mercury, but I did not talk to him. We chased them down, saw them at their hotel, did not get to talk to him because he was flanked by bodyguards. I was probably 14, but I did meet Ronnie and did have a very, very cool little friendship with him. And he was a gentleman. He was eloquent. He was elegant. He was so unbelievably kind. Yeah. And the last show that they ever did, you can watch it on YouTube, the last show he ever performed, he sounded like a god, and he was dead a couple of months later from stomach cancer. You know, Easy says accidents will happen. So hit and run. Used to be the victim, now you're not the only one. Great song. Gorilla Time. Hello, Dirk. Hope you're well. I am well, and even better here with you all. Blue Copper Coffee, Rolex Submariner, the GOAT. Yeah, well, get Emmett O'Malley on the show. He's got a beautiful no date that he just got, and man, does it suit him. And it's like we've been talking about this forever and ever and ever because he wanted it so bad and he finally got it. And his axe, it's perfect for him. He's actually got a pretty big wrist on him. I didn't realize he had a Sheen style wrist on him, but they're pretty big. Gorilla Time, Pepsi 6542 TW. Wow, agreed. That's a beautiful watch. Wow, that's the one. Yeah, it's very special. Does anybody have anything like? Oh, Watch Lady probably has that, right? I would think so. Rufus says, have you been watching Fargo with John Hamm? Okay, hey, I did. I watched the very first show. Can somebody explain this to me? Because, of course, I know the movie Fargo. I've seen it 50 times. Are they doing the same storyline over and over every year with like just slightly big differences? Because there were so many parallels to the things that went on in the movie in this thing with the girl from the British show. The cute little girl, she's in, and John Hamm, some mysterious cowboy at a table. He was barely in the episode. It went very slow, so I don't know whether or not I'm gonna like it, not like it. I have no idea. Here's Laverne. Hey, Laverne, you want to come to Salzburg? She's hiding. She's stepping on my keyboard. You can't do that. Nathaniel Hannon. The wildest part about that GMT was the Geiger counter due to radium markers. Sure. Exactly, because that thing was, yeah. Oh, and not only that, the Bakelite was loomed with radium. So not only were the markers and the hands full of radium, but the whole bezel was loomed with Bakelite and radium. Crazy. I mean, that would set off Geiger counters galore, right? Holy crap. Thank you, Nathaniel. Doughboy ZA. Wow, $39.99 ZAR. Upvote mofos. Yeah, well, hey, upvotes are great, man. We really, really like them. Watch It's Brian. Someday we need to talk about Mickey Mouse watches. I have 3 that have Swiss movements. You know, my parents are gone now, but my siblings have been saying, you know, you need to go through the stuff. Haven't been able to do that. You know, I will. Maybe some of those watches are there. It just feels like looting the pyramids, or feels like, you know, just yeah. I know it's something that has to get done, and lucky for me, I have 2 sisters and a brother, and yeah, I mean, I said, you're like, well, you got to pick what you want, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, later, I'll do that. Uh, Space Ace, what's your favorite bad habit? Oh, God. Well, I have a very, very, very bad habit, and that's that I drink a lot of Diet Coke, and it's really a problem. I mean, I quit it once in a while, and I drink seltzer. I don't drink it with food. I drink it just during the day because I'm not a big water person. But I drink, like Pellegrino or San Pellegrino or any other kind of really cool bubbly water. And my cat is saying that it's going to rain. What's going on with that? If a cat does this and goes behind their ear, it usually means rain. So yeah, Diet Coke. I drink too much of it. I wish I didn't, but I do. And I'm just watching her because she's crawling all over my desk. What do you want from me? Um, the Watch Princess. There's two different live streams going on here. What do you mean? There's two different ones? Oh, we're going out on both channels. We're going out on the Oshino O'Malley channel, and we're going out on iBashers. So yeah. Gorilla Time says, "How's the GMT?" But do you have that watch? Do you somebody have that watch? I mean, that's worth a fortune, isn't it? I mean, that's worth $100,000. It's got to be. It's got to be worth that kind of money, right? So, guys, I'm going through the comments, and what are your favorite things? It doesn't have to be watches because we all know you guys love watches. We all know that. Ray Ray says, "New sci-fi, the creator mix of old and new, worth a look. Face red heart shape." I love sci-fi if it's done well. I tried to watch so much of it. I love Strange New Worlds. I hated Discovery because it was this PC. It was so annoying, and that guy that ruined Kevin Spacey's career is on it, so I'm not watching that because he's a moron. The guy from Rent. December 24th, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Him, Mark. That's his character name in Rent, which I had a brief almost involvement with. Would have loved that because the money was good. Did I like the show? I guess I did at the end, but now I think everyone overpronounces all their words and they sing like this on Broadway. R. I like R's the real way, Bob F. Probably already discussed, but R.I.P. Shane McGowan. Yeah, we did. I just wish I knew more about the Pogues. Like I said, I only know about Kate O'Riordan. But I will investigate. Sheen's mom posted something, so she's obviously it must be universal because she really liked them, I guess. Yeah. Hey, this is Christopher Negroni. Hey, man, how are you? I like your little pandas. Very, very. Oh, I get it now. That's your favorite watch, a Daytona Panda. Sure, that's definitely not crap. Dr. Bob's Nightmare, Ipanema. Is that your favorite song or your favorite beach? Because there's mad and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking. That's João Gilberto. And he was brought to international fame by the American singer Andy Williams, who had him on his show. And it was unbelievable. He was outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Hey, look, it's Eric Michel de Chantillon. You're a good man, Dirk. Like Charlie Brown. Great show. Hey, man, I got to finally. I love your wife. She's incredible, and we thank you so much for being a great guy and a great partner to such a wonderful woman. And she's so great. And she brings so much to the fashion channel, the watch fashion channel. You're a lucky man. She's a lucky girl. Thank you so much. Says Easy says, funny thing, I've never seen Laverne's face because my camera's up here and she comes in and she's a cat, so camera's up here and she comes down here and she's just kind of rubbing her face all over me, and then I'll post a picture. Gorilla Time says, hey, Dirk, are you happy with the weight of your new piece? 153 grams. I weighed it. My Speedmaster is 128 grams. And so I had dinner with the incomparable Nathaniel last week, and he had his solid gold Speedy. We swapped watches for a minute. Holy shit. That thing was well over 200 grams. Well over. It was so heavy. I wonder when they were putting monetary value on things, like gold is precious, diamonds are the best. Was it weight related because it was heavy? I mean, why didn't they think iron was the most, because it was just too plentiful and it was so rare? Because gold is heavy, man. Holy mackerel. And there he is. $1.99 beauty show. You ever see that show? $1.98 beauty show with Rip Taylor? Hilarious. I just watched it the other day. I assume you've seen Radiant Girls. I did. God, wasn't that like Hallmarky though? It was, I didn't watch, it was a series. I watched a couple of episodes and it felt lifetimey to me. I think, did anybody do a more serious, more, documentary style one? I'd like to see that, Carolyn, why don't I have Diet Coke for breakfast? Okay, so my little secret is before I have my double espresso or two, I open up a bottle of Diet Coke, I take a swig, I put it back in the fridge, and then I have coffee, which is really bad. That's coffee. Yeah, every time I give it up, I do well for like a day or two, and then I become an irritable jackass. It's like if you ever give me gin, don't ever give me gin. I don't drink hard spirits at all. On the very rare occasion, which won't ever happen again, I've had anything. It was gin, and I just turned into the world's biggest colossal asshole. I don't know what it is about the stuff. I just want to fight people, and I'm the most docile, peaceful person there is. You do need help. We both need help. Maybe we could go to a 12-step program for Diet Coke together, Miss Martin. Classical guitars. Ugh. I collect, here we go, favorite things. A couple of my favorite things are these Japanese student guitars that were built in the late 50s and 60s, and they're called Angelicas. And I have two classicals and a 12 through the eBay purchase system. They're very reasonable. It can be had for a couple $100 a pop, and they're gorgeous, and they play great, and they sound great. Because some of the Japanese instrument making was just like Gibson used to have this company in Japan called Orville after Orville Gibson, and those Orvilles were so reasonable. They were $400 or $500 for a Les Paul or one of the marquee instruments. Now they're worth so much money because they were better than the American quality. They were that great. Dingo Dave says, hello, beautiful people. I love Gal Gadot. I don't. She's beautiful. Physically, yeah. She's got a bad... I won't get into that. I'll save that for the Yashin night. But she said some pretty despicable things about something. Oh, look at that. McConner, my wife. Aren't you great? Dingo Dave says, please don't sing like that. Okay, well, that's funny. Oh, and red wine and my Yachtmaster Blue Dial, color of my favorite Greek seas. Yeah, God, I don't think I'd ever seen. I was in Croatia and the water was pretty beautiful, but when I got to Greece, I went, oh, oh, it's the color of your banner here. It was the deepest, darkest, but still clearest blue. It was outrageous. Yachtmaster, beautiful wine. We could have a whole night. I'll do a wine show because we definitely know a lot about wine and we like our wine. I like the stuff from the old world. I don't do South America. Sorry, folks. Just sucks all the liquid out of my brain and I can't drink it. California, a couple, not many. But yeah, we'll do that. OHC Consulting. Caitlin is great. A man you don't meet every day. Is that... I don't know what that means, but it's funny. Han says it's been on his wrist since he got it for his birthday in October. Wow, that's really great. You got a birthday watch. Fantastic. What was your birthday watch? You mentioned guitars. Oh, coffee beans. Oh, there's a couple in there I'm missing. Coffee beans and jazz. You know the old rock musician joke, right? They always go jazz. Why don't they just play the right notes? That's the joke. Oh, classical guitars. What watch did you get for your birthday that's been on your wrist? Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me, tell me, tell me. That's the Cure, right? See, Ultimate Watch G-Shock AMW 500D. You won't understand. I don't get the G-Shock thing. I get why it's a thing, but then you see like producer Michael talking about G-Shocks. I watched this show with him and Teddy, where he tried to make him slum and get like a watch collection under $12,000, which by the way is so easy to do. You can get some great watches. And he goes, I only know about G-Shocks because he only knows about, diamond encrusted stupidity. All that money and no taste. Man. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So we go, oh yeah. So we got Coneric. Any chance you could show us the Speedy? What year is it? It's a reduced. It is a 1998 reduced, and it's automatic. And I got it as a gift too, and I got it in Venice from Machine, and it is beautiful. And it's got one of the most beautiful bracelets that Omega's ever made. It's absolutely amazing. And my camera shows stuff now. Look at that. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful, and it's a 39 millimeter, 30.7 millimeter. So it looks great. See, there's the milli, right? I'll take that out and put that on a very suitable surface. And I'll take this off and put this on here. And it's just amazing. Yeah. It's just, I love this watch. I absolutely love it. That's why I said in my little song that the Speedy's in the drawer, sadly. But she's not really. I was just doing that to emphasize it. But that bracelet, I mean, can you? That's like a president bracelet, but better. It is when you do this, with bracelets, when you do that. I mean, it really feels like it's liquid. It is so unbelievably beautiful. This is just so heavy duty. This bracelet is mental. Can you see that? Can you see the tilt on that? Can you get that? Could do my little thingy. Right, this is fun. My new favorite toy. Oh, I think I already killed the battery on this thing. That doesn't show. Oh, look at this. Man, this thing ate through the batteries fast. Ooh. Why are you yelling, honey? She's yelling at me in the other room. Yeah. Yeah, it's reduced. And it's great, and it's an unsung hero of the Speedy world. Sure, I'd like a professional, and I'll get one eventually, but I'm going to get one that's with broad arrows. I'm going to go for that thing, No, my special guest is probably either going to happen tomorrow or Monday because, you ask people to do stuff and they can't always do it. That's okay. Ease out of it with Coke Zero. Black. When you go to Europe, they don't have Diet Coke. They used to have Coca-Cola Light. And that was somewhat tolerable, but it still had saccharin in it, so it was gross. There's something about Diet Coke, especially if it's in a can, because the can is the best. It's got the most effervescence, and it gives you that bite, that explosion. The Mexican ones are too syrupy. They have different formulas for all over the world, so it's Coca-Cola is a racist company. They pander to people's tastes. Colin Buzzard, my BLNR GMT with Cortina di Ampezzo with wife and daughter, O's and skis. Yeah, well, sure. That's fantastic. You ski? I've never been on skis in my life. If I did it now, I'd probably kill myself. I've been down ski slopes because I used to mountain bike. I used to do downhill cycling. Lots of it. And I've been down most of the ski runs. Take the ski lift up, and you would ride down the ski slopes on not on single track. You do it on the mountain. It wasn't like pussy ass single track. We did the real thing. You want to come up here and show your face because everybody wants to see your face anyway. Bob Sacamano says coffee, Coke. That's what's wrong with the world. Yeah, coffee and blow. Oh, you mean Coca-Cola. Take a Cosmopolitan. I make a good Cosmopolitan, but would I drink that? No. I don't like liquor. I like wine, and I like a beer now and again. Yeah. Bob's Nightmare says there are things I know, like iron, but it's rusty and it looks like shit, and nobody cares about that. Ray says whales, dolphins, great white sharks, my favorite things. Text green, game over. Yeah, well, they're beautiful. Aren't the sea beautiful? And I'm a vegetarian, and I have been since I'm very, 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 very young. And it's not for health. It's because I just don't feel I just don't want to do it. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't judge other people. I'll sit across from anybody who's having a steak, and I don't preach. I don't try to get everybody to join my club. It's just for me personally. I think we all do our own things in our own way. But I always think about fish, and I go, I understand, like you're a hunter and you're in a place where there's game, and that happens. But you're out in the ocean, completely far off the shore, not bothering anybody. You're in your school, you're doing your stuff, your fish stuff, and like some asshole on a boat comes out and kills you. It's like so shitty. It's like us going, finding faster than light travel, creating a rocket ship, going out to outer space and killing everybody. I just think that we should leave them alone. We should figure out a way. If you're going to do that, it'd be a great idea to figure out a way to just do the ones that come your way, as opposed to going out and premeditating it. This is how I feel. We don't speak Greek. The wine, dark sea. This guy speaks too many languages. Dingo Dave, Milgauss, love it, love it. Me too. I love it, love it, love it. And I didn't put that thing down. Now I'm afraid that I did something because I have a counter right here. Did I see Atomic Blonde? I did not. Great soundtrack. I can't wait. Japan, Grand Seiko, Toyota, Lexus, best quality. Well, listen, I was talking about foreign cars because I like to watch those pro walk tours, and they go to a city I've never been to, and then you feel like you've been there. Italy's got tons of Asian cars now, and they used to be Fiat. So they're obviously doing something right. I mean, the Japanese were the masters of copying and perfecting, and they did that so much, right? And now they've just those luxury cars. We have an Acura, and it's really nice. Really, really nice. And we got Kate O'Riordan, Pogues, Ramsod, Nalash, Emmanuel. Oh, there you go. Okay, great. Yeah, I didn't know it. I don't know it well enough. I mean, I know who she was because she was married to Elvis Costello. Andy Dufresne, Longines, Spirit Zulu Time, 39 gold bezel. Beautiful, beautiful watch. I think we need to give more love to Longines. It's a beautiful historical watchmaker, and they just, they don't get any love. They really don't, Daniel Gutierrez, what straps do you have? I have a couple. I have two NATOs. I have a blue and white, and I have a blue and green, and I have two leathery straps. They're not leather because I don't wear leather. I'm not a vegan. Vegans make vegetarians look bad. They make us look bad. But I love the look of them. So I have two. I have the perforated racer driver style in black and in like a distressed suede. Yeah. Jolt. Do they still make Jolt? I remember doing that a while ago. Timmy's on at 6:00. He's on at 6 minutes, and I believe that the way Oshin set this up is that everybody will go over to Timmy's stream. He stopped drinking soda a few months back when I realized it's basically like drinking bleach. Well, yeah, they say if you drop tarnished things into Coca-Cola, it'll take the tarnish off. That is terrible. Coke in small glass bottles in Tehran was so fresh and clean. If that's possible, I believe it. Of course it is. Tehran was once the Paris of the Middle East. One of the most beautiful cities in the world. I had a very, very good friend. She grew up in Ireland, but her father had spirited her out of the country when the Shah was deposed. And She showed me these unbelievable pictures of her and beautiful, like it was gorgeous. I mean, it was just a cosmopolitan international city. Everybody, the fashion, it was like incredibly dressed people, beautiful architecture, just beautiful. And yeah, terrible. Tim's in the room. Let's see what else we got here. Whole day in bed again. Danny Gutierrez on the recovery slope. I don't know. Did I miss the boat? Were you sick? What happened to you? You stopped drinking bleach and you got COVID. Do you have COVID, Tim? Oh, crap. Is that back? I didn't get the vaccine this year. I've had 5. And now I'm a little scared. I'm starting to believe all the dark web people, because people are now getting things that they never got before. Weird skin things, a third eye, a tail. They're starting to get all this crazy shit. And I'm like wondering, because now we're using the mRNA. I mean, I thought I read everything there is, but I'm no doctor and I'm no scientist. I'm no doctor and I'm no scientist, but like I'm around. I was around my parents and they're gone, but I take care of my elderly neighbor, and I don't want her to get sick. She's 87, and I don't want her to get it either. So I mean, how many people out there have gotten the new one? It's supposed to be last one I got was the bivalent, bivalent. Depends on, put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. I did the flu shot and the last COVID shot together, and for the first time, I was on my back for about 5 days. I couldn't even move, but I still showed up for work. What about all those poor bugs living? I think about that all the time. When I think about bugs, I think about Horton Hears a Who, and then I equate it with us. We are here, we are here, we are here. And then Mrs. Tucanella, she thinks Horton's crazy. Maybe we, the universe or the multiverse, whatever verse we're in, maybe we're just a particle floating through the vast unknown, and we're going to land on a leaf or on the equivalent of a rhinoceros's mouth or nose and get breathed in. I don't know. I feel bad about all this stuff. I don't kill bugs either. I kill mosquitoes because they need to die. But other than that, that's it. Only the ones that are after me. What about vegetable rights? Respect the plant. I try to respect the plant kingdom until the evidence is out that that they have a nervous system and that they can feel pain. The jury's out on that. I mean, I'm going to eat the spinach. And then I guess I'll eat nothing. Vegetarian is Navajo word for shite hunter. Omega fanboy Ian. Hilarious. Probably true. Like I said, I don't tell people I'm a vegetarian. When I first meet them, they eventually find out that I am. But if they want to go to Peter Luger's, I will go along. I just won't order steak. I will get creamed spinach. I will get those amazing carrots. I'll get some unbelievable potato, probably a baked with sour cream and butter in it, and a bottle of something really great, like Opus, because that's California that I will drink. Daniel Katz, I'm not a vegan, but eating artificial chicken any moment, no duck. I don't buy the artificial meats. I mean, I've eaten like the faux chicken nuggets and the sliced. I will say this, and I will say this with regret. The only food I've ever missed from the meat kingdom was bologna, because I grew up being white trash Irish, and we ate bologna sandwiches, and that's the only thing I eat. So I do buy those. I do buy the phony bologna once in a while. I don't really like it. I just load up a sandwich with pickles and cheese and stuff. Our Stetson fedora is good. Are we going to talk about hats, millinery? Wow. I think millinery is a dead science. There used to be, your mother would go to the milliner. Your grandmother had just come back from the milliner. She got a hat made. Stetsons are classic hats. They made amazing hats. They were some of the best in the world and expensive. And then the designers came up with it. I have a Yves Saint Laurent. Isn't that cunty? I have an Yves Saint Laurent fedora. But I need to bring it to a milliner and have it blocked because I didn't take good care of it. Ray Ray says, if I wanted to be upmarket, crustaceans, caracarden, I don't know I don't know what those words are. Those, I don't know what those mean. No idea. Daniel Gutierrez. Great idea to have you, Dad. Thanks. $2. Thank you so much. Duck is the pork of the sky, says Bob's Nightmare. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Why is pork the meat that religions think is dirty when they're the opposite? They're so clean, you know? If you're going to yell at me, come in the room and yell at me here. Neely says, Turan's still very cosmopolitan. Western media doesn't show it. There are YouTubers that show it. I've watched that guy. I watched Bold and Bankrupt and a bunch of other guys go there. And yeah, I mean, it is. It definitely is. I'm not trying to say it's not Aleppo or anything like that, but it was for a while. I mean, after it took a long time for them to come back, and some of the most devastatingly beautiful people I've ever seen in my life. The people from Iran are absolutely, not only are they smart and beautiful, but their intelligence level, they're so well educated, and they are physically absolutely beautiful people. And what a culture. What an amazing culture. Yeah, the West. The West is not the best always. So Tim, right. I'm so sorry that Tim, that you have COVID. That sucks. Watch It's Brian. I got the new vaccine and the flu shot on the same day. No issues, but I had COVID for the first time ever about 2 weeks ago before getting out. God, that sucks. I had COVID 3 times. Luckily for me, it was nothing. Yeah. Market says the best vegetables are at steakhouses. 100% agree. And the best wine lists are always at steakhouses. That's why if you're going to a steakhouse, please invite me because I love to go. Watch It's Brian says Dirk eats the descendants of Mr. Potato Head with delight. I'm Irish. I love a potato. Doesn't love a potato. So we got Chris Clues. Hey Dirk, what's your passion other than watches, animals, and music? I think that's it. Yeah. Watches. I love animals and I love music. I love Corvettes. I don't own one. 1968 to 1972 Stingrays are my passion. If I lived somewhere else, I probably would have got one long ago. I'm not going to out who has one, but there's somebody in the watch world that has one, and it's the most beautiful car I've ever seen, and it's emerald green. It's the most beautiful green ever, ever, ever. And I couldn't believe it. It was beautiful. Yeah, time flies. Thanks, Dirk. Gone over to Tim's. Hey, everybody. It's only an hour show, and get involved next time. Talk about your favorite things. Raindrops on roses, whiskers on kittens. Yeah, it's your show. I just am here in the middle to talk about what you want to talk about. And we'll have a theme every day. We'll do it tomorrow night. I'll come up with a theme. I'll post it by noon as I do every day. And I want to thank everybody in the crew for coming and hanging out with me tonight, enjoying a little bit of Salzburg, enjoying Laverne yelling at me. And I know Sheen doesn't do this, but if you could, upvote and like and subscribe, because it will help the algorithm. And then we could finally take bashers away from the Osheen O'Malley channel, because we're going out on both because that's the way to do it for now. But there's going to be a day where we're just going to go out live on this. So Dirk Weekdays will be only on the iBashers channel, and Osheen O'Malley channel will be probably for the Wednesdays. So until then, I want to say thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Go over to Timmy's and have a great time. Thanks, everybody. Good night.